Do you know if your square is square? I don't know if my squares are square. I just bought these Starrett squares over here. I assumed they were very square and flat. So let's find out. What I have here is a shelf from a bookshelf that I had. And I need to make this thing perfectly flat. See how there's a hollow over here? Trying to get that out. Okay, and that's square. All right, now that I know that this surface is indeed square, let's put these away. Clear my table. This is one of my first squares that I got. This is a Swanson brand. Hold it flush, knife, light pass, keep it as a light pass. I don't know if you can see the knife line here, but anyway, I'm going to come back from the other side. On this knife wall. I'm going to start exactly where I was. I'm going to keep it and it may be difficult to see here, but I have a sharper pencil. I have one first line over there and then the second line over here, even though they start about the same spot. So I have these two lines, which is where they're off a little bit. Probably off a little over a 32nd, and that's how off this square is. Let's try this little guy. Light pass. I don't want the depth of the curve to define the knife wall. Broaden the knife wall. I'm going to come back on this side. Find that little curve. And I can't tell how off this square is at all. This little guy is really identical. This thing came out pretty good. The two lines are right here. I couldn't even plot the second line if I wanted to. Let me test this little $8 square I got at a antique market. So let's try that. I am not expecting this square to be very identical or very square at all. We'll see what it does. You can see this thing had already started to deviate. This thing is off by maybe a 64th. These are Starrett squares, and these are expensive. And let's see how they do. This is a 6-inch. Starrett square, not to do a very heavy pass. Turn it around. Find that little knife nick. Bounce the square right up against it. Light pass. Man, these lines are identical. So this is, in fact, I can tell how this square is, seems like the two lines are riding exactly on top of each other of the Starrett square as it did of this cheaper 6-inch square from Lowe's or whatever. So this thing's really identical. And this is the big guy that I use very often. Alright. Remember which side I did. Let's go right up against it. Look at that accuracy. I cannot even tell the two lines apart. This is money well spent. Anyway, there you go. 5 squares that I have. And how square they are. The 12-inch non-brand square, I guess, is probably not as accurate as it should be. But the 6-inch was pretty good. This has been banged around in some toolbox for a long time, many years. And this surprisingly did really well. And then the Starrett squares obviously are the rock stars. That's why they're expensive. Now, do have to take care of it. Can't drop it on the concrete floor. It does hurt the square. It does change the dimensions, the squareness of it. But anyway, that's the video. It's a cool little test, so I know which squares are square. These ones I just kind of keep in my tool bag in my car if I ever need it for something else. But these are the ones that stay in the workshop. But anyway, I hope you liked it. If you have a square, why don't you go check out your square and see if your square is square. Leave a comment below, let me know how you do on that. If you have friends who are also woodworkers who use these kind of engineering squares, share this video with them and tell them to test their squares also. I do post some behind the scenes photos and videos on Facebook and Instagram, so you can find a lot of extra stuff there, what I do in my studio. Like and share this video, it'd be great. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I have 2 videos coming out every week. So I will see you in the next video.